Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to cover ratio and proportion. So this is part one of this concept. And in this video, we are going to cover ratio. So watch part two of this concept if you want to understand about proportion. So the topics covered in this video is introduction to ratio, examples and problems based on ratio and comparing ratios. So let us start off with introduction to ratio. The ratio of two non-zero numbers, that is a and b, is the fraction a by b, and we write it as a is to b. We read it as a is to b, right? And this is how you write it with a colon. So this is how you convert from a fraction to ratio. So the numerator becomes your first part of ratio and your denominator becomes the second part. For example, 3 is to 5 is 3 by 5. 12 by 13 is 12 is to 13. So it's simple, right? Yes. So now we know what are equivalent fractions, right? I have explained that in another video. So we have equivalent ratios as well. For example, 2 is to 3. You just multiply it with the same number. So 3 into 4 is 12. You multiply that with the same number again. So 3 into 4, 12. 2 into 4, 8. So 2 is to 3 is 8 is to 12, which is again 4 is to 6. Similarly, 60 is to 45 is 12 is to 9. So the above are equivalent ratios. The HCF or GCF of A and B will give you the ratio in its simplest form. So HCF is the highest common factor. GCF is greatest common factor, same thing. So if you find the HCF or the GCF of the numbers A and B, then they will give you the ratio in its simplest form. So here is a question. Express the ratio 87 is to 58 in its simplest form. So the step here is to find the HCF and you will get it. So it's 87 and 58 is divisible by 29. Okay. Like you have to find the HCF. So you'll get the answer as 29. Okay. And the final answer, when you divide each of these numbers with 29, you get your answer as 3 is to 2. Now, let us move on to examples. And in that, we are going to cover word problems. The length of a pen is 16 centimeter and its diameter is 6 millimeter. What's the ratio of the diameter of the pencil to that of its length? The diameter is 6 millimeter, length is 16 centimeter, that is 16 into 10, which will give you 160 millimeter. You need to remember something here. You cannot find the ratio of two different numbers having different units, right? So you need to convert it such that they have the same unit and only then you can continue. So here I have converted it and we have got it as 6 millimeter and 160 millimeter. Next, to find the ratio, it will be 6 is to 160. We can divide that further to get the simplest in its simplest form. So divided by 2 will be 3 is to 80. Now here's a question for you. Kindly pause the video and try it. Find the ratio of 19 centimeter to 1.5 meter. Remember, convert 1.5 meter to centimeter or vice versa. That is 90 centimeter to meter. But you will get it as a decimal. So it's best to convert it into a whole number. So let's check the answer. We have 90 centimeter and 150 centimeter. So that I've converted it here. Therefore, the ratio 90 is to 150 is 3 is to 5. So here I have simplified it. Now we have few more questions. Find two equivalent ratios of 3 is to 4. So here we are. You can multiply or divide these with any number, but this cannot be further divided, but it can be multiplied. So 3 into 2 is 6, 4 into 2 is 8, 6 into 2 is 12, and 8 into 2 is 16. So that's how you find two equivalent ratios. Now let us move on to the next objective of this video, that is comparison of ratios. Compare the ratios 5:6 and 3:4. Can you do that? Okay, so let's convert it into a fraction so that it will be easier for us. 5:6 is 5/6 and 3:4 is 3/4. Now we know how to compare, right? Yes, we have to find the LCM of the denominators, that is 6 and 4. That will give us 24. Next step is to multiply. So 6 into what gives you 24? 4. Same thing you will do with the numerator. So you get your answer as 20/24. Similarly, for 3/4, it will be 18/24. Now it is like fractions. You can easily compare them. Next, compare the ratios of 12:20 and 9:10. Can you do that? Let's see. I have few other questions. Express the ratios in its simplest form. So here are 3 different questions which I would like you to do. We have more. Two numbers are in the ratio of 11:12 and their sum is 460. Find the numbers. Thank you. See you in another video.